There's so many germs going around right now. It is definitely sniffle season here in the Houston area.
Is it ever? And if a popular decongestant doesn't work, what does? Dr. Arjuna Kuparan is an ear, nose, and throat doctor and founder of My Houston Surgeons. He's here to help us out. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at these products, everything from NyQuil to Mucinex, and now we're told that phenylephrine doesn't work. So what's going on? And we want to know what does.
Yeah. So what's interesting about all these medications is most of them are a hodgepodge of different ingredients. So they can contain things like acetaminophen, which is basically Tylenol, things like phenylephrine, which is the agent that the advisory panel has determined and reported to the FDA is no better than placebo at relieving nasal congestion. And so what's going to probably happen is that parts of these medications are going to have to be switched around and changed, because there was a law that was passed in 1962 called the Drug Information Act, and it requires any over-the-counter medication to have efficacy for it to be used.
This is a pretty bombshell report. It's something you say has been studied for a while, but for it to actually be coming out now that all of this stuff that people, myself included, have been buying for years does not work, I mean, that's pretty eye-opening. So this is on the shelves for now, but you say it may change as far as like the ingredients?
Correct. Yeah, so the companies that make these drugs will probably, retool and reformulate them, and some of the things that are in them will be the same, but the phenylephrine component, most likely when an advisory panel makes a decision, usually the FDA goes along with it, so they will say this part needs to be pulled out. So maybe they won't be on the shelf for a while, it may take a while for them to create the new product, and so there will maybe some gaps, and I think it's important for people to know that they're taking a medication that has something in it that really doesn't do anything, and obviously in medicine we say do no harm, so we don't want to have people take things that aren't helping them.
Why bother? So what does help?
Sure, that's a great question. So I think for patients who have nasal sinus congestion, stuffiness issues, great medications are over-the-counter nasal steroid sprays, things like fluticasone, those nasal sinus rinses like the Neti Pop, the Neomed, those are always really great. Antihistamines, Claritin, Zyrtec, Allegra for allergies. And I think if your symptoms really don't get better and you take those medications, it's always good to see a specialist and be evaluated and see if there's something surgical that needs to be done with the nose.
Now you say there are forms of these medicines that are behind the counter that would have the D in them that do still work, right? Right,
so the D is really pseudoephedrine, and so pseudoephedrine is kind of notoriously known for being used to make crystal meth, and so that's why it's sort of a controlled substance behind the counter, and when you get it you have to show your driver's license and provide identification. So those do help. And anything with the D, whether it's an allergy medication with the D or anything, can be effective for nasal congestion. But again, you don't want to use those things long term because the decongesting effect does have a rebound component to it.
And if you don't know what your problem is, whether it's sinusitis, why you're having migraines, if it's allergies, I mean, there's so many different things it could be. Is it important to figure that out so you know exactly what to take to make your symptoms better?
Yeah, I think it's easy to just go to the place and, pick the sinus pressure and the headache medication. I mean, it seems pretty easy, but the reality is these problems can be more complicated, and I think it's always nice to see a specialist who can help you to figure out and get you on something that's actually going to make you feel better.
All right, doctor, thank you so much for coming in and explaining this to us and letting people know so that they know that, when you buy this next time, it may not really work.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will put you to sleep, though, I feel. Taking a lot of that.
Then you won't feel the symptoms. Appreciate your time today.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right.